Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the UK Northern Powerhouse on Transport Fever 2. This is going to be episode number 56 in the series, and in this episode we're going to head down towards Northallerton to improve that station, to make it a little bit more realistic and to put an important junction in up towards the northeast area of the map. This was supposed to be episode 57 that I'm recording now, but when I was recording episode 56 I'd forgotten that I'd turned the microphone and sound off as I was recording something else, so I've done all of this set to a video which is completely silent. So basically what I've done is rebuilt the connection between Darlington and Middlesbrough. I've built Redcar and put in Redcar Station, and I built Eaglescliffe and Yarm stations as well, and Teesside Airport. So I actually did quite a lot in that episode. So what I'm thinking is, this is going to be episode 56, but if you would like to see maybe the footage of this sped up, do a bit of a time lapse with some music as a standalone episode, if you'd want me to upload that, I can do it and I will do. Just let me know in the comments and I'm more than happy to upload that, but it will just be a time lapse. But I'll explain now what I was thinking about what I needed to do. So basically I didn't realise there's a Manchester Airport to Redcar Transparent Express service, but there's also a Grand Central service that I want to put in as well, which comes down the northeast coast, doesn't it, and then comes into this is a fake station, but I'm calling that one Billingham even though it wouldn't really be there. And I think the Grand Central service stops at Eaglescliffe and then heads down this track here, which we're going to build in this episode, down to Northallerton. And I think the Transpennine Express service also shares this extra track and stops at Yarm before stopping at Middlesbrough and Redcar. Another thing I did was this little station here is Battersby or Battersea. I'm pretty sure it's Battersby, but I could be wrong. It might not sound the B. Anyway, I noticed on the open rail map this it reverses at Battersby and then heads back to Whitby. Completely unnecessary, but I thought I'd do it anyway just to add a little bit of extra realism to the build. So I've done that, put an extra car on the Darlington to Whitby service, and we have Teesside Airport now with a Teesside to Manchester Airport service. I don't think there's a real Manchester Airport service, but there's one there. It is only a small airport because that's all that would fit, and on that we have, what do we have? We have some little, obviously we just have little planes on this. These are the vanilla ones, whatever they are. The short 330C Sherpa, and actually that one that's got 4, I think one of them might have actually been full. No, they've both got 4 on, but it is actually being used, which is nice. And I suppose it is quite a long route, and it's going to be substantially faster than the Transpennine Express service, so that's in there. Don't think I'll put one into Liverpool Airport, no I won't, but it's there. I know there is a Teesside station, but it only gets one train a week or a month, a parliamentary train, so I haven't put the station in, but instead I've put this bus service in, so it goes Eaglescliffe, Yarm into the airport and then back again. Just put 2 buses on that back and forth, and it's nice to see airports actually getting used, even if it is only by a few passengers. So that's what I've been up to. That's what I did in the video that I was supposed to show you. Again, if you want to see the footage of it, I'm more than happy to set it to some music and to set it as a time lapse. But what we need to do is pretty much rebuild all of Northallerton. Now Northallerton is one of the very first, it's within the first 10 episodes I think we built this station, so it is. I don't think Northallerton is particularly of much interest, and it is just a 2-track station as far as I can make out, but the actual approach into Northallerton is a little bit more interesting, so we're going to go ahead and build that. So yeah, this was going to be basically 2 episodes doing the northeast, the Middlesbrough bit, and I knew that this Northallerton junction would probably take up quite a bit of time as well, so this is getting its own episode. Now it does have quite a complicated junction and interesting. Well, yeah, I said before it's not really of great interest, but it is only a 2-platform station as far as I can see, but it is relatively interesting in that platforms appear to be offset. Now I want to try and see if we can actually recreate that on this and get it to work fully. So we're going to need a building. It wants to be red rather than green, I think, now, because we are in the LNR red era, although we are in 2037 now. I hadn't been keeping an eye on the time at all. It wants to be 240 metres, and I want to place it, I want to place it a bit further away, just give ourselves a little bit of room for manoeuvre. I don't think it has any buildings on it It might have a little bit of a building, a little small building, but nothing particularly grand, I don't think. So we'll cut that right down. I've set that to green again, haven't I? I have. Let's just get rid of it. I don't think it doesn't matter, does it? It really doesn't matter. We're putting the platforms back in anyway. But red. Catenary, yes. Standard tracks. So we'll chuck that in about there, because we are going to completely reconfigure this anyway. So let's get rid of this. Get rid of the buildings, because I don't think there is a particularly big building on this station. And then what we want to do is take a quick look at the map, remembering which side is offset. So I think if we go from passenger platform, so I think actually if we go, so I've taken away that one there, so that's 2, so 1, 2, some tracks down the middle, just standard, right down the middle there, and then carry them. Actually no, I don't need that one, do I? I can just connect into that, I think, without too much of an issue. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segments long. So platform, we'll have, I think, a blank one about there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 track there. So we've got like an offset platform arrangement here. Now we don't, it's unnecessary, but it just makes it look a little bit more realistic. There is some old track here. I don't know if it's used anymore for storing units or whatever, but there was. The track continues out, so let's just see if I can connect this up with some track. Now that's signalling. Some track with catenary, yes. Yeah, and the masts even line up, and then just extend that out to there like that. So that's the station. It should work. And then we need an underpass, don't we? So we're just going to configure this quickly. MISC, no, platforms. And then we just have underpass there. I can't see any buildings on it or any. I think there might be a shelter on the eastbound, on the southbound platform, possibly. Is there waiting room? I think there might be one, possibly. No, there's no room anyway. Can I? No, just I'll leave that as it is. I think that's as close as we're going to get it. And then it's facing the wrong way, but that's not a big issue because we do have to demolish quite a lot of the track anyway. Oh no, we're trapping the train on the wrong side. So let's delete all of this right back. I think, yeah, I want to bring it right back actually. I want to try and separate out one and put that, pushing the train back like so, because I just want to, oh, I've done it again. I want a little bit of separation between the East Coast Main Line and whatever this track is that's going to come down here. So we're actually going to shift this out anyway, so it's going to be out in this direction. We want to be going uphill ever so slightly, and then we just need to refer back to the map quickly. So leading into the station we have the track splits off. This goes off over here. No, that doesn't want to go, that wants to go. Actually no, we need to keep an eye on that, don't we? So we want a bit of a lead in, just make sure there's no glitching, and then hopefully we can get a switch in here. Nice long switch, 50, 60 or 60, that'll do. So it is one of these sort of junctions with an extra set with a switch rather than a flat crossing, so that hopefully should be accurate. And then you'll notice here I've got the ETCS signalling ready. I'm just experimenting with the ETCS and the slab track, which someone did mention, Jermaine, Alan, Jamie, so apologies, but yeah, did suggest subscribing to the slab track, and I thought I'd best do that before I forget, because we will need that for HS2 and HS3 if we build that, and this wants to be set to one way, doesn't it? Right, good. So next thing is there is a bypass track. Now I don't think this bypass track is going to get used, but I'm going to put it in anyway because it exists, and we are trying to go for accuracy if we can, so let's just see if that will allow us to do that. Now it is in a box sort of arrangement over here, but we don't have a box tunnel sort of thing going on, so we're just going to have to go with, I think we'll go with concrete actually rather than a girder bridge, because a girder bridge really isn't that accurate for what it is. No, we will go for concrete. Can I bring that down? So we'll go over that like that, make sure there's no pillar collisions. There is that there, it's on the track as well. We might have to go with a girder bridge because actually no, we don't. We'll go with something a little bit different. We'll go with this one here, China Railway T-beam without, I mean it's not even accurate either, but it hasn't got any pillars. So we'll go with something like that, and then let's see if we can just connect this straight up back to the East Coast Main Line with a reasonable speed. Now we don't think there's any tunnels around here, but as long as we're maintaining that 125, which I think we're more than achieving, although we do have a tunnel, which I don't think we have, or I don't think is necessary. So we'll get rid of that and connect those up. No, you don't want a tunnel, not disallowed. Good, so that's connected back up. Now we've got to try and figure out how this junction comes together. So this is just a straightforward merging of lines. So if we bring this out, it's flat as well, that's good. And then try actually push that back and try and curve it in going up. Ooh, is it going to meet? Are you going to meet? Yes you are, that's good. But are you going to be attractive or are you going to be glitchy? Nope, looks alright, that's good. And then over there, it doesn't want to be going up or downhill. And then we just want to bring this in. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I'm not sure about the I think the Grand Central service and the Trans-Pennine Express service both stop at Northallerton, so not entirely sure. This bypass is probably for freight actually, because I guess this would be used heavily for, there's like a red car bulk terminal which is used to handle coal and things like that, and obviously you've got the steel works, which is what Redcar is I think famous for. So I'm guessing this is more of a freight diversionary route, but we'll put it in anyway just to make it a little bit more realistic, and it's quite interesting anyway. I think it's adds a little bit of interest and realism to the route. It's just nice to now and again do some of these kind of more complicated junctions, because I did say a few episodes back, or a couple of episodes back, that I thought the East Coast Main Line was finished, but it's not obviously, because Northallerton, that is I guess if you're gonna try and be as faithful as possible, then that should really be included, or this should be really included, and the offset station as well. So that's all looking alright actually. Yeah, pretty pleased with that. We'll get a couple of signals in on the lead in here. Again, don't need to because it's not going to get used, I don't think. I'm not turning it on to one way, am I? But we will include them anyway. Okie dokie, so that junction, actually I was just going to say we're going to move on to the next junction, but I'm just going to get this connected up. I know these tracks are probably running a bit more parallel than they do in real life, but just because we've got a huge mountain in the way on this particular map, they are quite close together, but we'll try and diverge them a little bit. And what's that doing? Is that trying to build something? Nope, that's all nice and flat. Yeah, they probably don't run this parallel, I don't think, in real life, but just the way that mountain is there's no way of really getting around it too much, and yeah, it'll do what we want it to do, which is get the two services, so the Trans-Pennine Express and the Grand Central services all hooked up. So that's in there, and then things get a little bit more interesting on the back as well. So having said the East Coast Main Line was finished, obviously Northallerton was wrong, and the track into Northallerton as well from the south is 4-track, so this needs to be upgraded to 4-track, and then we need another interesting junction on the approach as it goes in to there. So we'll get the two main, actually let's just double check this. So you got the core 2 tracks going down the centre like so, and we've got this little bit of a bridge in here. This is just get rid of that for now, because what we have to do is this diversionary route, whatever it is, needs to go under. This needs to go under the East Coast Main Line as well again, so it goes under once and then goes under again to form a grade separated junction. So we'll get that in. So I'm going to have to demolish a bit more of Northallerton, I think, just to get this in. So I'll put in a little, no, don't want it there, down. See if we can get that. There is a little bit of a, well, that's alright, that might be okay. Let's see what it's given us. That's given us that, so that's alright. I think we'll go with a girder or something, with a truss, yeah, a truss girder one, just because it is a bit of a long span on that. Get rid of this, and then just check the lead into that. So this does split off into, as it becomes 4, and then this one joins in as well, like so. A little bit, no, is that alright? Is it? Yes, good. So can I just put that on there. I'm not bothered about the speed again because I don't think it's going to get used, but we will just make sure it looks reasonable at least, and then that leads into there like that. Smooth off a bit. I might have to do a bit more work off camera, but yeah, that's alright. Actually, I'm pretty pleased with that. Let's just have a look, because the only thing with it is I'm not sure if the East Coast Main Line is up facing that way. That's an up, isn't it? Up down, or is it two ups, two downs parallel? Not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, this is going to be an up, isn't it? Going into two ups, and then there's like two downs maybe, possibly. It's a little bit different, I think, to how the West Coast Main Line works, but I don't know how that leads in to York, so we'll leave it about there, I think, and probably have to get rid of some of this signalling as well, just while we figure things out. So we want a signal on the split off here. So yeah, it's going to be, the way it looks, it's going to be two ups here, so that's going to be an up, that's an up, so two ups together and then two downs possibly, I think. Is there a switch? Yeah, so there are actually a pair of switches. I thought there would be. So from that and then onto that, so you could separate out the flows a bit. So you come in, you've got a down line here which can come onto this one, so we can have, I guess you'd have the up down fasts on these two tracks and up down slows on these two, and then into Northallerton. That gives us a little bit of like room to bypass trains and things. So we're going to want a junction, set of signals. So I'll have one here and then one there. Protect that set of switches, and then that's fine into there. And think we'll have a signal there, and that should be long enough for a 240 metre long train. I'm not so sure about that, but it doesn't matter anyway because it's not fouling a junction, I don't think. I think that should all be fine, and all this leads all the way into York as four track, but that means we have to do a little bit of work at York. But York does need to be, there needs to be some work done here anyway, because we've got the Harrogate spur and that needs to come off. Harrogate I'm going to have to demolish and reposition because it should be a down around here somewhere, a bit more easterly as well, so we can get leads into Harrogate and then up to Northallerton. But I'm pretty pleased with that junction actually. That's alright. Obviously you've got a bit of work to do around Northallerton to rebuild it. Definitely done an underpass there, haven't I? I think just want a couple of signals in the middle because we are going to have two services operating on this route. That's actually, yeah, it is a long stretch. I know you're only supposed to have half as many signals as you do trains, but that is a long way to go if there's a train waiting to come in. So I'm going to put that on there. That's all fine, is it? Yeah, I think actually, can I put I'll put a signal on the exit. Should I? No. I'll use my magic marker, my magic ruler, which is my finger, and a train station, a railway station, just to put a stacking set in here. So it needs to be 240 metres long, just so we can park park trains close together, and then we can start to separate them as the trains start to get a little bit faster. The signals can be a little bit further apart, like that. I think I'll have another stacking signal on this. So that's an up and that's a down, like that. Good. I think that's a high speed bridge, isn't it? 186, yeah. Good. So that's all looking all right actually. Some trains aren't happy because Northallerton's been demolished. Actually, no. Let's just unpause it and see what they do for a minute. Is this still called Northallerton? Yeah, it is. So what's up? Oh, you're not happy either. They're all. Let's just unpause it. That'll help. Maybe they'll figure themselves out. Let's have a look at the route, shall we? So could not connect to all stations. York. Yes, you can. Look, you're fixing yourselves already. You can fix yourself as well. Surely. There we are. Let's fix this last one here as well. Sometimes the spanner does actually work miraculously. Or saying that, does it? Why have we got 610, 610? Right, so Manchester, Piccadilly, Huddersfield, Leeds, York, Northallerton, Darlington. Don't know why. Is that what are you? What's up with you? You're just facing the wrong way. That's fine. You're going the right way now. Let's have a look. Terminals. Yeah, I'm not sure why it was displaying that, but that's what it seems to be. seems to be fine. Let's just check actually, see where this train stops. Hopefully it won't stop in the middle and it will stop on the actual platform edge. That'd be good, which it has done. Good. Right, so the next thing we want to do is we want wherever that is, Billingham, and I said it. The Grand Central stops at Eaglescliffe, I think. I think it stops at Northallerton. Actually, let's just quickly get. I do have the route, so I'll get that loaded up. Okie dokie. So it's just Northallerton, York, and then it's non-stop then. Oh no, let's slow the game down a bit. I've got another broken train. Oh come on, down to Grantham, and then we're gonna have to go in my stack thing that I've built as well, which doesn't really work, but it was my attempt at trying to stack the trains and space the trains out a little bit better. I did I explain that? I think I'll explain that in the episode which is silent, so I'll come back to that in a minute. Just want to get this service in. Are you York? No, you're Doncaster. I'm not far enough north yet. That's York, isn't it? Because it says. And then back to Northallerton. Good. And then Eaglescliffe like that. And that is going to be, what is that going to be? So it's a Grand Central. And then I don't have we'll call it Bill. Bill down to Gran. And you want to be some sort of colour. Orange. Yeah, because what's the other Grand Central service? Not sure what colour. I think I've done that black or grey. So that's on there, and then we've got this one as well to do, which is going to be quite long, so we've got, yeah, it's really struggling with all these different routes open. So Manchester Airport, Manchester Piccadilly, Manchester Victoria, Huddersfield, into Leeds, and again this is another duplicate service which is duplicating paths that already exist, but again it's just a service that I would like to have in. And then this one stops at Yarm, Middlesbrough, Redcar, Middlesbrough, doesn't have a switch in, I've forgotten to do that. Yarm and then back again. Northallerton, York, down to Leeds. Leeds could be potentially busy. I know the corridor, the Manchester Victoria to Manchester Airport corridor is just rammed. It's going to be absolutely packed by the time I put this one. And there is a northern service as well from Manchester Airport up to Windermere, which needs to be put on as well. So why are you saying you're broke between Northallerton, Yarm and Middlesbrough? I'll have to come back. Let's just keep it luminous green and then just check. Ooh, it's really struggling. So it is going onto those two platforms there, is it? There's too many routes, you can't see. There's no other. We have done the return trip, haven't we? So Huddersfield, Manchester Victoria, Manchester Piccadilly. I can't see the other, unless it's just not displaying it, or it could be doing some really mad random route. No, it's not. It's going into Victoria. That's fine. And then it's not coming up Victoria. Now we do have a huge problem with other than it being really congested. We do have, yeah, it's seriously congested and the platforms are congested as well. Just want to check. So line 1 should be right. Just making sure there's no services on platform 5. 2. What are you doing on 2? You want to be on platform 6. Let's just change the colour of that because I can't. There's a lot going on here. Terminals. Yeah, so you're on 4. What? Confused myself. So right, this is 18. Stop 18 is going to be the return trip. So that wants to be on platform 7. So that should have sorted that out, but it doesn't. No, I've done it the wrong way around. That's why. Right, let's try this again one more time. So 2 is the outward journey. So that wants to be on 7, and then that is the return journey. That wants to be on 6. And now we've got none at all. Oh yeah, we have. They're just really congested. Right, so we do have a problem at York as well. So what's going on at York? We've got a problem at Huddersfield as well. Can I just press the spanner maybe? No. Manchester Airport, Huddersfield, platform 2. So let's just check terminals. Yeah, you're all on the wrong sort of. Well, no, that should be fine. So 416, yeah, that's fine. No issues there as far as I can see. That's all fine, apart from being a little bit congested. Coming into York, coming up here, all fine. And then we don't have a yellow route, so this is actually being duplicated for some reason. So yeah, we've got, well, I don't know what it's doing there, and that's just bizarre. Terminals again, so 6 wants to be on 8. And then the return journey, 14 wants to be on, 14 can stay on 14 on 2. That should should be right, I'm assuming. Or is that an up and down? Alright, let's put 14 on. And you decided to park yourself in there, have you? It's really starting to get complicated now with all these different routes. I think the way I've set these platforms are up down, I think, so 14 will go on 7. Yeah, that should be fine. And then we come up to Northallerton. That's all should be straightforward, but it's not. Maybe it is. Yep, so that's coming off there. That's fine. And then it's going Y to Northallerton, Yarm. So are we on the wrong platform here? Yeah, so 8 wants to be on 1. That's what the problem is. And then Middlesbrough, yeah, we've got the terminals, 9 on 1. And the problem is we don't have a switch in here. So as soon as I put a little bit of a switch in, it should solve all of our problems, he says. So let's just put a switch in, like so. Actually, we'll do it t'other way. No, not like that, like that. And then one-way signalling there, and then that should be happy if he was on the right platform, that is. Number 1. Are you happy now? No, he's still got a few issues, and that train has decided to park himself in a bay platform. He's forever trapped now. So he is going to have to be sorted out. It's really frustrating when it does that, when they just go into bay platforms which are not long enough. So what's the problem? So coming out of Yarm, terminals, 12 on platform 2, coming down this line here. Everything's all nice, lined up. And then I think these need switching round, do they? So you are the northbound service, so you want to be on platform 2, and 13 you're the return, so you want to be on platform 1, and we fixed it. It is quite a long and complicated route, isn't it? So I think we've managed to do it. I'm not sure what colour it's going to be because we've used all the pink and purples. Maybe does that stand out? Yeah, that stands out actually, I think. And that is a TPE Manchester, I think that's Manchester Airport. No, yeah, MIA, Manchester International Airport to Redcar. What's Redcar? Do I have National Rail Inquiries app installed? Possibly. It's Redcar Central, so I need to rename the station. So that's RCC. So I'm going to schedule a couple of those services. Let's just rename this to Redcar Central, just so it's accurate according to National Rail Inquiries anyway. And that should be a lot. So I'm going to have quite good connectivity with the buses into the airport, so that might get used a bit more. Middlesbrough's got a new service, and we've got the new town of Redcar as well, with a Trans-Pennine Express. That is going to have to be 170s, because I think, well, the trip was up to Manchester a couple of weeks ago. The only service that's currently operating with the new Trans-Pennine Express timetable over Ordsall Cord between Manchester Airport and Manchester Victoria is the Redcar to Manchester Airport service, and that is formed of 185s, I think. 185s, possibly, yeah. So I will put 170s on there in the place of those. Don't think it's going to be upgraded to the Class 8 02s, is it? But not sure. So I will put 170s on there anyway, just to represent the 185s on that particular service. But yeah, we are slowly getting there. We've still got a little bit to do. We've got up here, we've got North Harrogate and Leeds link to do, and a little bit round here as well, just to make sure this is a little bit more accurate. And what else have we got? I've got a couple of like bits of rail lines here that don't seem to go anywhere, but yeah, not to worry about that. Actually, what I did just before I finish is I did get a couple of comments about these services. So there is a LNER service from Lincoln to London King's Cross, so I've put on a single Class 800 from Lincoln down to Grantham, and there's a northern service from Lincoln to Sheffield as well, so I've put that on. So we have a lot more services running from Lincoln now than there was in the previous episode. So yeah, we are certainly getting there. We've still got a bit to do, but we've definitely starting to get into things now. I think once York's done, the East Coast Main Line will be finished once and for all. Pretty sure of that. We've done Doncaster, we've done Retford, Newark, Grantham, just York to be rebuilt, and then that is it, done. So just going to wait for this service. So I'm going to pause the game. I'm going to jump on board this TPE service up towards the new junction, so you can get a good view of the new junction and the new station that we've built. But I'm going to leave it there for today and say until next time, bye bye.